Hey friend, in this tutorial we're going to be painting a luscious, dense forest of trees. I don't quite know what type of tree this is, so if you know, please comment below. I'd love to find out. But we're going to be using a variety of watercolor and mixing in some gouache for this piece. It is super fun. Takes some time, but let's dive in. I'm going to get started using my layout bond paper for some sketch. I love to sketch out the composition, the shape of the trees. If you're really uncomfortable with sketching trees or painting trees, please check out my tree series of videos that I've done. We'll link in this video. And for this, I'm just basically sketching in some ovals and shading first to kind of eyeball where these branches and the lush greenery of the trees are going to go in. And then from there, I'm going to be sketching in the contour around each oval, and the shadow parts are going to go on the same area of each oval or section of foliage on each tree. So the oval, the base of the oval is going to be in shadow. So I've got that marked out, and I'm sketching out the composition and just a really rough loose sketch of these trees and kind of a loose composition of what I want it to look like anyways, so before I actually start painting, because once I go to my watercolor paper, I'm actually not going to be sketching anything at all. I'm just going to go for it with paint. And right now I'm using an HB pencil. It doesn't really matter what type of pencil you're using. This isn't a detailed sketch. I'm just getting rough ideas on paper before I bust out my watercolor paper. So now we're ready to start painting, and I'm going to grab my 1.5 inch Mottler brush. There is a little bit of like a bluish gray tint in my water already, which I'm fine with because that's going to provide a really cool misty background. So if you have a little bit of a cool color tint in your background, that is going to be totally fine. And I'm covering that full sheet of paper area with an entire wash. And again, all of the supplies that I use are going to be linked in the description of this video. And now I'm grabbing a like dusty sap green with a little bit of black, and I am applying that in these streaks and lifting the bottom of my paper so that it drips down. These are going to be like really faint ideas of trees in the background of this forest. A mixture of sap green and some brown gouache. You could also use burnt umber watercolor if you don't have gouache, and I'm just letting it drip in these faded, kind of lighter values of dark green, sagey green, brownish green hues. And then I'm going to mix up a more brown hue, and with my size 16 round brush, I'm going to kind of drop in that color, which is lovely, and start to pull out some little nods of branches. I actually ran out of burnt umber, my brown color, so I'm mixing up brown on my own with red and green. Because they're contrasting colors, they make brown. So I'm just streaking in this brown color here and there, mixing it in with all the greens that I'm streaking in. And these are just kind of faded in the background trees that we're gonna layer on top of once this all dries. And now I've got my darkest green value, and I'm just doing little streaks on the bottom. And because we're painting wet and wet, this is all gonna get really blurry and faded around the edges. We've got Prussian blue, sap green, and Mars black, and now I'm starting to kind of dapple in some leafy shapes using the side of my size 16 brush. And again, all of this is going to be layered on top of with more crisp details of trees. Now I've got my Bombay White India ink, and I'm going to kind of just spray this. A toothbrush would work really well. I didn't have a toothbrush, but a size 2, not too wet, otherwise it won't move. And I'm just kind of flicking my brush. This is kind of like a little flecks of light coming through the leaves. And I want this to be super random, and the white just kind of spreads like magic on top of the wet watercolor. And then we are gonna do a little bit more of that dark greenish brown and just add a little bit more of these leaf shapes with the size 16 brush. and maybe some yellow green with lemon yellow deep and sap green mixed together, and just kind of sprinkling this around so that we have faded foliage and faded trunks of trees in the background of our more crisp, realistic trees in the foreground. I'm making sure to avoid that white ink in those areas where there's some white ink, just so that kind of stays white to shine through with those little dappled light sections. I've got a darker green that I'm kind of sprinkling in on top of the lighter greens and mid-tone greens to get more detailed and layered with wet and wet while I still have the chance, because this paper is starting to dry, so we're working really quickly at this point. And sprinkling in some of that white on the right side now that I have a few sections of these leaves on the right side and up towards the top. And then I'm grabbing a smaller brush and I'm just softening the edges of some of these leaf areas that are kind of collecting these hard edges. They're going to be covered up mostly, but I'm just softening them. And then because it will take too long and I'm impatient, we're drying it with a blow dryer. Now we're ready for the crisp trees in the foreground. I'm going to start with the trunks, and we're not quite ready for the really dark, dense trees in the immediate foreground, so we're painting like a little bit behind. So they're a little bit of a lighter value of brown and a lighter value of green for the foliage as well. Once that dries, we'll get more detailed and darker with our hues and values. But I've got my brown gouache with a lot of water. Again, the gouache set that I'm using will link in the description. You can also use burnt umber watercolor, or any brown watercolor or pigment that you have should work good if the color palette is in the story that you're creating. And I'm just adding these lighter, but not as light as the background layer, trunks of the trees first to make this look like a really dense forest. And then once that is dry, we are ready for trees in the front of our painting. So I'm going to bust out more of my brown gouache using a like really dark brown, like almost black, and then a chocolatey brown. So we've got this really dark, it's almost like Mars Black and Burnt Umber together with my size 6 brush. And I'm gonna paint in these trunks, and a little tip that's fun is using the base of the handle of your brush. Sometimes they come to a point and they can give you these really, really thin lines that even a size 2 or a fine liner brush can't give you. So I like to use that sometimes. Now I'm going in with this faded brown and painting in these really thin, curvy lines for the trunks of my tree. And all while I'm painting in these trees, I'm also eyeballing over at my sketch study that I did in the beginning for shapes and composition. But think about how a tree grows. You have the trunk of the tree, of course, and it kind of spreads out like a V, or depending on the overall shape of the tree, which I'll link to the tree series painting tutorials that I've done so you can understand that a little bit better if you're unaware. But these shapes of trees are really important. If you get them wrong, it'll feel off and you might not know why. So it's really important to understand the overall shape of a tree before you just wing it. I highly recommend checking out that series. So now I'm mixing up a darker green color for the leaves of this tree to bring that foliage that's kind of blurry right now to the foreground. So just kind of scrubbing my brush along, kind of like if you were to brush your teeth in those small circular motions with the tip of my brush and the belly of the brush, just kind of going back and forth between the belly and the tip of the brush with a darker green. Some is just sap green on my brush, and sometimes it's sap green plus Mars black. Kind of depends on how concrete I want it to feel or how in focus I want it to feel. And dancing around mostly the base of these foliage sections, because again, the oval shape or of the foliage section, the base of that oval is going to be more shadowed to show dimension and that round full look. And then I've got this tree that's kind of in almost the center, and I'm making his trunk a little bit darker, so there's a little bit more black in this mixture. I'm using my size 2 brush to bring those branches up through the blurry foliage that we have as of now, which I'm going to make more concrete with wet and dry technique very soon. But kind of stopping where I see very distinct shapes for foliage, and the branches are kind of getting lost in those leaves. And then we've got some branches kind of fading through these really light parts and just poking through little tiny holes or gaps that you can kind of already see with this wet and wet foliage that we have. And just extending some of these branches so it doesn't look too top heavy. Like if we just had a big, huge section of foliage kind of sitting on a small branch. And then I'm just poking in or sprinkling in with my size 6 brush some of those darker green leaf moments with sap green and Mars black. And for these lighter sections where the sections are still wet and wet, I'm starting with a lighter value of green first and then building on top of it. So instead of having a really light underpainting and then all of a sudden go to a really dark color of green, you want to build up slowly. So have some mid-tone greens, some darker greens on top, and not just a really light green and then a really dark green. So it's starting to take shape at this point, and we're starting to see some of that detail that I wanted and that I was able to convey with my sketch somewhat. So we're getting there slowly but surely. This does take time and patience, but it really is the same few steps over and over again. Nothing super complicated, but the more patient you can be, the better this painting will turn out. I've added a section up here on the top where the space just kind of felt empty. So just because you don't have any wet and wet foliage in the base layer, you can still add it with a lighter value first and then building it up with darker values of green and adding branches. So then I'm adding in on the far right one of the trunks of one of the final trees that we're going to paint in. So we're getting close, and I'm painting in these trunks with my size 6 for the fatter branches and fatter trunk, and then I'll go in with my size 2 brush. So again, same steps as before, layering mid-tone greens and darker tone or shadow tone greens on the base of those oval shapes of these foliage sections, and leaving in those peaks of lighter greens and yellow greens around, mostly around the top, but still sprinkled in here and there around the base in the middle of these oval shapes on our foliage. Using my size 6 brush and kind of scrubbing it around sometimes for that dry brush texture, and just plopping it on my paper for these little leaf shapes. And adding in some more foliage sections on the top where it feels empty, going from light to dark, and then coming up to this last little wet and wet foliage section that I have, and adding in my dark tones and branches. Some more dark tones on this one to make it pop a little bit more, and adding in a few more sections of foliage over on the left to create a little bit more balance and make it feel a little bit more dense throughout the entire piece. And then I'm creating some sort of brown value that's in between the second layer of chunks and the one we just did, so that there's like this mid-tone level. They're crissing and crossing. I don't know if that's a phrase, but they're crisscrossing and overlapping and curving around, which makes it feel more dense. And there you go, a beautiful, dense, green and lush tree forest. It was super fun to paint. I hope you had fun. Please check out my Patreon channel if you want live art classes and further in-depth tutorials that are exclusive to Patreon, and my watercolor books, and check out everything linked in the description below of this video. Thanks so much for watching.